Hello, and welcome back to another very special episode of Is the Bus Still Running? A podcast for the Yo Yes Observer hosted by me, Christian Leon Vallejo. Today we have a very special episode, as not only do we have one guest, not two guests, but four very special guests with us here today. Our first one is Ashley Martinez Alvarez, who is a visual arts major with a minor in art history.
Cicely Flynn.
Cicely Finn, who is a major in visual arts and a minor in sociology, who is also treasurer of our student league. We have Sophia Britt, who is a senior majoring in visual arts and a minor in marketing, and Savannah Saltgaver, who is a double major in visual arts and elementary education and a minor in art history. Thank you all for being here today. I'm very excited to speak with all of you.
Yes.
Thank you for listening. Thank you so much. I'm like super excited. I'm like smiling. Like, ooh, I feel like sweat. Feels so cool.
Yes, the podcasting is always like very exciting because you don't know what's gonna happen.
True.
Feels professional.
Yeah.
Right. Like this is what.
I'm not used to having a mic in my face.
This is what real people do, right? Like,
Yeah.
have like real things to do.
Yes.
Podcast. They tell people about their things and they publish it.
Yes. So the main reason for today's podcast is you guys have a big senior showcase coming out. So
Yes.
Ashley has told me, do you guys want to speak a little bit more about the senior showcase?
Sure. The senior show is it opens on Monday of next week, which is
April 22nd.
and our reception is going to be on April 25th.
On that Thursday, yeah.
Yes. So all this week we're going to be installing and putting our stuff into the gallery for the beginning of the show on Monday.
Sounds like
Finally.
a lot of fun. Is it
Finally.
gonna be at the VPA or at the at HSB?
Oh, this is the official gallery in Health Science Building.
Health
This
Science
is the
Building.
official, like the show.
Okay.
Yes, it's not going to be tucked away in old
Hidden
campus.
fancy.
Yes.
Yes. Well, I right here have a little bit of a description for each one, so I'm gonna go through them. And if you'd like to share a few comments on them, I'm gonna start with Ashley. So it says here, I will be presenting an installation of lanterns for your senior show. Each lantern tells a story, either a daydream or a nightmare. I use light within my artworks. I create fairy tales that explore self-love and discovery. My work is often interactive. Viewers are prompted to engage with the work through physical interaction. Light is a central focus of this work. Light is an element that I work with because it creates a sense of perspective.
Yes, I've actually been experimenting with light for a year now, actually, or even more than that, actually. And I first started off with boxes. Like, I would just find any random shaped box and I'd create a world inside of it. And so, in preparation for the senior show, consistency was one of the things that was brought up. And so I switched to lanterns. And so I've been crafting these lanterns and changing the shape of them and the way they appear based off of the stories I create. And so there's going to be 4 nightmares and 4 fairy tales and 1 surprise lantern that I'm preparing for the senior show. So, yes.
Sounds a little mysterious.
Right? We gotta come
Yeah.
check it out and see what's going on.
I mean, that's a little sneak peek. I know it says you encourage people to interact with them. What do you mean by interact with them?
So each lantern, depending on the story, has an interactive aspect to it. So for example, there's a lantern that has a music box on it. And so it has a little music, like a little switch for people to turn and music plays within it and it adds onto that story that I created. And so as well as there's like different other elements like spinning, and it really truly depends on the story that there is. And I want my audience to explore the curiosity and let their inner child come out when they see my lanterns. So, yeah.
That sounds really cool. I'm looking really forward to seeing that.
Thank you.
Yes, so next up we have Cicely.
Yes.
Yes, so in here it says, I'm presenting a table of functional pottery that celebrates the role of pottery in gatherings as well as intimacy and community that can be found and sustained in settings like around the dining table.
Yes. So, I started ceramics in the fall of 2022, and I really fell in love with it because of how difficult it was. It was such a challenge. And I've also just always loved like having dinner parties and having friends around. I think it's so important to have community, and I think the role that pottery has in creating that community is really fun, and I wanted to explore that with my show. My pottery is very I don't want to say minimal, but it's focused on like form and function over like decoration. But it is very colorful, and I'm heavily inspired by like mid-century Scandinavian pottery. I don't know how familiar everyone is with mid-century Scandinavian pottery, but artists like Stig Lindberg and Hertha Bengston, if you guys want to look them up. They're really famous in the Scandinavian parts of the world. Yeah, I'm really excited. Yes, art history. But yeah, it's really just about celebrating like togetherness and like being around a table with family and friends.
I really love it.
Yeah,
That sounds really nice, actually.
thank you.
And I know ceramics. What made you choose ceramics? I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's so hard.
Oh my gosh, so many people hate it. I talked to a lot of students that like have a really hard time with it. I don't know. It was really meditative for me. Like the first time I made ceramics, I thought it was like, oh, this will be easy. I've seen people do this, and it was really hard. And I think that's kind of what drew me in, is like getting better at it. But also, I feel like when I throw on the wheel, it's like, yeah, it's very meditative, and like it brings you into yourself, and like you're in the moment, which I feel like nowadays, you can be on your phone and like somewhere else all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The process of making
The
it.
process, yes. You can't be anywhere except for right there. Exactly. Brings you back to earth. The clay, the dirt.
I mean, I think that's just like a central theme that we have, like
Mhm.
with all of our stuff, like interacting with one another. with
No
the
pun
earth
intended.
around us,
Mhm.
which is kind of why we like wound up with the name
Mhm.
interaction for our thing,
Oh,
Yeah.
that's the name
for
for
our
it.
Mhm.
for our
Senior show.
senior show exhibition. I
Exhibition.
want to find the right lovely word for it, not just show,
Mhm.
because it is really like an exhibition, a culmination of everything that we've
Mhm.
been working on for like a really long time.
Yeah.
Thank you. So now Sophia. For Sophia's, I have I'll be presenting ceramic and mixed media sustainable art, advocating for ocean conservation. This work focuses on marine deterioration due to human-induced impacts. When I read that, I was like, wow, very powerful.
So, I guess the basis for my work kind of focuses just on, like, growing up, I did a lot of, like, camping trips every year, and my mom was, like, the crazy cat lady who, like, fed the, stray cats down the street, and, I mean, that kind of just, like, rubbed off on me, so there's a lot of, like, our personal cats that also, like, get a baby bunny or a bird, and I'd always be like, oh, want me to, like, put it in a box and try to save it, which, you know how that goes, but, so I've always been like interested in animals, like ever since like I drawing, painting, it was always like tigers and dogs. It wasn't really like people or like flowers like some people. I've just always been drawn to like kind of a nature aspect. So I wanted to focus more on the senior show doing like ocean, just because I like probably the favorite places I've visited have been like the beaches and the sea and just like the many things that come from it that is like insane, and like it's just like this whole world that like people haven't really discovered very much, and it's slowly deteriorating away, and there's like so much we haven't seen. So I guess my work for the senior show focuses mostly on human impact to like the ocean, just because of like things like overconsumption, not only just like the food we eat, but also the single-use plastics and containers and stuff that food comes in. And I mean, I guess whatever other products you use during a day, like people don't tend to think about how much they go through.
Yeah. I know it says you use ceramics and mixed media. So is it like sculptures almost like with everyday objects or?
Yeah, so I'm doing sculptural ceramics, and then a couple of the pieces have like plastic elements to them, just because it's like it's all reused plastic. A lot of it like I got from like the Restore in town, or like just like had. So I'm trying to like reuse plastic and then kind of like show those like single-use plastics in my work to try to like show how animals interact with them.
Interact.
Yeah.
Also, like, shout out to that reuse store downtown.
Absolutely.
Great.
I don't know where it's at, but it's on like Adams, I think. Downtown, farmers market area. There's like a reduce, reuse, recycle store.
Oh.
Like tons of art supplies that like people don't use anymore.
Britton
Open
is a
weekends
co-owner
again.
or something.
Yes,
Yeah.
one of our like
Yeah,
professors.
she's
Mhm.
there. Like.
What doesn't she do?
I know.
We have great people that are.
We
guiding
do.
us, I think.
Shout out to the art department.
Woo,
Yes.
yeah, well, yeah. Shouting into the mic because we don't get a lot of love down there.
Yeah.
Yes, we deserve it.
Yes, indeed. So now, last but not least, Savannah. I have that Savannah paints mixed media botanically inspired structures that intend to invite viewers into a colorful, whimsical, and everlasting world.
Yes, that's just like in short, in words, what my work is about. But really, I draw from like, I'm also inspired by nature and animals, but a lot of my work is also inspired by popular culture and comic books and graphic novels and cartoons mixed with like my childhood memories of what it was like growing up in my parents' backyard. They're not like professional gardeners, but they garden and my dad builds things for my mom to put her garden, her plants in. So it's like their mutual relationship together was something that I loved seeing. Created this like beautiful scenery outside, and I could always play in it. There was animals outside. Similarly, crazy cat ladies always
It's the best.
represent. But like just taking those memories I had as a child, both good and bad, and like kind of like, you know, even anxieties, just the feelings and memories of growing up mixed with my love and inspiration with pop culture and interacting with the world around me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god, interaction.
Interaction.
Perfect time.
Everyone listening, count how many times you mentioned. Post it in the comments.
Take a shot. Every time.
I know when I was reading it, it almost gave me like an Alice in Wonderland kind of vibe when it said whimsical. Is it something like?
Yes, so I don't want to spoil, but like I kind of have like this entrance way to like, it's a group show, so we're all sharing a space together. But we kind of each have like our own little like sectioned off spaces in the gallery. So like I kind of have like this entrance to my area. So I kind of want people to have to enter in this one way to come in to the garden spectacle. That is,
It is a spectacle.
yes. You really have to see it with your eyes and be in the world. Go underneath into the garden to
Take in
really
that moment.
experience it.
That sounds very, very intriguing.
Yes, you guys gotta. Anyone who's listening to this, you gotta be there.
We'll see you there.
Yes, it's gonna be a full house.
And we also have one more art student that's a senior that couldn't make it, Maxine Touchette.
Yes.
And she's doing paintings about climate activism and like mourning her old homes that she's lived in, like Chicago or like British, Canada.
Florida.
Yeah. And her stuff's really cool. It reminds me of like impressionist paintings.
Yes. Yeah. So it's a full house.
Full house.
For real, like yes, like all the walls are filled
Mm-hmm.
and the installation space.
All the work is interacting with each other.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know about all of you guys listening, but this is definitely a show that I do not want to miss. An exposition.
Yes, it is
Yes or no?
in how many days now?
In a
It's
week.
Tuesday.
9 days
9 days.
Mine
is the reception,
9 days
yes.
is the reception, and we were in charge of catering, so
The food will be good.
yummy.
Yes.
We'll hold you to
I
it.
got,
Yeah.
I got dessert. No problem.
And how long is the exhibition going to be?
It will.
5:30 to 7
To 8.
to 8.
Yes.
To 8.
April
Starts at
25th,
5:30,
yeah.
That's the reception,
Mhm.
but you'll be able to see the artwork from April 22nd to
May 9th.
Yes, there you go.
Okay, well you guys have time, so no excuses. Check out it.
We like finish each other's sentences over here.
We're all one brain
We
working
are.
together at this point.
We are, and I mean that's how we have to be because we have limited space in the gallery. It's not just like this infinite room we have to,
Mhm.
we really have to work together. And I think that's something that we've been doing constantly this entire, because we're in a class called Pro Skills, like professional skills.
Yeah.
It teaches you about how to be like professional artist that all like seniors take
Mhm.
during their senior show, like
Mhm.
time or whatever. And we've really done everything together. I feel like.
We've planned the whole exhibition.
Yes.
Yeah.
Apart from, we all had our own like single responsibilities, but we've collaborated on almost all of them.
Every single thing.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's really nice.
Big learning experience.
Yes, the postcard is beautiful. It's sketches of our work early on, and so what we
Mhm.
plan on creating. And so
Yeah.
it's very nice.
Yeah.
Yes, well, I like Savannah's little transition actually. I think it's not only important to know about the art, but it's also important to know about the artist. So now that you bring up the class, I would like to ask each one of you, what was your favorite art class you took at UAS during your time here? Starting with Cicely.
Oh no, hot seat. I do love ceramics class with Shane Harris. Obviously, that's my medium of choice, but I was really drawn to all the digital media courses taught by Britton Bjorngard. I think digital media is like my second favorite medium. So I'll say maybe intro to digital media. I learned so much, and every assignment was like a new challenge on a new like Adobe app. It was just a lot of fun. I learned a lot about myself during that class. Yeah.
Sounds cool. Sophia.
I mean, I've always kind of like dabbled. I take ceramics now, but I've taken like painting and then like digital media, and I mean, just everything I could really try. But I think one that I really enjoyed that I didn't know how much I'd enjoy was printmaking. How Mike, I don't know, I was just call him Mike.
Mike Miller.
Mike Miller. But I kind of like that because you not only can make like the printing plates from like metal, but you can make them from any material you want, and it's just kind of like a giant stamp. So there's just like so much you can do with it. And it's just like kind of fun, but it's a lot of work. So that's why I haven't taken it again.
I'm taking it right now during like taking the senior show class,
Crazy.
and it's a lot. Yeah. But I would say I have two favorites: life drawing, like figures drawing. Like that's something like I have never been like good at. I thought like I was like I can't draw portraits. I can't draw people's bodies. So like that one was a class that was genuinely like it's a challenge. Like I'm genuinely trying to get better every single project. Mike Miller taught that too, and then but like extra favorite was mold making. Like making your own molds out of plaster slip.
That's like ceramics adjacent, right?
Yes.
I took that one too.
Yes. It's close to
Definitely.
like 3D design. It's like a amalgamation of 3D design and ceramics.
Ooh, big word.
Oh yeah. And it's just like you get to make your own molds out of stuff. Like you pick something up and you're like, I want to make a plaster version of it, or not a plaster, but a ceramic version of this.
Yeah.
Boom. And you can make a mold out of it. So
Yeah.
like the projects were really intense, and like the process was intense too. I just like learning new things, like another thing under my tool belt. That's so yeah. And there's a lot of classes like that. Like every time I take a class, I'm like, got it. I got it on my list now. So it's satisfying.
Checking out the checklist.
Yes.
Okay, so for me, I've barely taken any classes then. I'm barely taking life drawing next year and next fall, and so I'm excited for that. Honestly, I'm in painting 4, so I want to say painting. I love painting, and it's interesting because in that class I'm allowed like freedom to like create what it is I would like using paint, and so that's how I started creating those boxes and those lanterns that I'm now implementing into the senior show. So yes.
Yes, that was really interesting to learn. Adding on to that, I see that in your guys' biographies that I have, almost everyone except Ashley, not to call you out, Ashley, has a secondary like either minor, a part that isn't art based. So I was wondering how you guys plan to like fuse or incorporate those, because I know for me, I'm a communications major with a criminal justice and visual arts minor. People are always asking me, well, how are you going to combine all that? So I wanted to get your guys' opinions, starting with Ashley.
So I am a visual arts major and an art history minor. I just love art. I thought about it a lot about if I should get a minor in something else. I just at one point in my career I want to be a professor, so that's what I'm aiming for later on, and continuing on like creating installations, which is what I do, and yeah, that's what. I don't really have a plan now. I'm just letting life go and just go with the flow.
Period.
Yes.
I would say, hopefully, I'm double majoring in elementary education, and then I with visual arts, but then I have a minor in art history too. So, I mean, I was thinking, like, I would love to be an elementary art teacher.
Oh.
I think that's really fun. But then I also like don't want to lose my art aspect to it. Like I don't want to just be teaching kids all day.
Yeah.
Like right now, I don't mind doing it like in a couple years. But like I'm worried that like I'm just gonna like be done with my senior show and just like like we're done. Like I need to make money and I can't do it making art. That's what everyone says. But hopefully I can do some type of art making or gallery managing. That would be great to stick with art, but also like still do education at the same time, but also like not stuck with like a teacher contract. Implementing them both at the same time.
So I did like a major in visual arts and a minor in marketing, mostly because I've always thought about like doing like the business side of art. So kind of originally like I was doing like a lot of graphic design. So I took like I think all the classes that I could from between Lincoln Land and UIS, because I always like kind of thought about doing business like brochures, flyers, stuff like that. And I've also considered working like through a museum and just kind of I guess advertising, business, marketing, that type of thing. Not really like, I mean, I don't want to say I hate kids, but I'm not like a fan of like the idea of teaching and stuff. So I was like, I'd rather work in like a business setting, I suppose.
It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
You have to really like it.
So I am a sociology minor. I used to major in sociology. I transferred from Western Illinois University. No one knows where that is. In Macomb, Illinois. And I was a sociology major, and I think sociology is so important. I think everyone should take like as many sociology classes as they can. It really opens you up about like how people interact with one another in society and just like how the world works, good and bad. And I took so many classes in it, I didn't want to drop it completely. So I chose to minor in it instead of major when I switched to visual arts. But I think sociology fits within what I'm doing with my senior show because it's all about like community and like how people gather, basically. So yes, I think it all kind of fits together very well. Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, what made you want to make the switch?
When I was taking sociology courses, it can kind of be depressing because you learn about what's wrong with society. And it was hard because I felt like I was going to my classes and learning about how dysfunctional everything was, especially here in the U.S., all the problems we're facing. And I left my classes thinking like, okay, now what? Like, what do I do about it? What's the solution? And, I would ask professors and they'd say, well, it's really important to vote. And I'm like, yes, but what can I do right now? It can be very disheartening. And I didn't know if I wanted to teach sociology. And I didn't know what like being a sociologist meant for me. I didn't know what kind of job I would try to get after with that degree. So I switched to visual arts because I've always been interested in like photography and painting and then I fell in love with ceramics like the first time I got to do it. So yeah, hopefully one day I can teach it at the like collegiate level, because I don't think I'm right for kids either. And I also think teaching at the college level gives you're like encouraged to create your own art. So I think that's one of the benefits of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you don't have time to do that.
When you're
Actually
teaching
play.
little kids, no, absolutely not.
No, you're a mom
Yeah.
or a parent
Mhm.
to
You're a babysitter, a teacher, a wrangler.
all of the above.
Yes.
But I like seeing, making a good and positive impact on their
Yeah.
lives. That's what makes it worth it. Whether it's like you're wearing brick shoes on your way home,
Yes.
then you gotta wake up and do it again tomorrow in the morning.
Yeah.
I love children, guys. I support them in every way, but they're very hard. So don't go into teaching if you don't like them, guys.
Yeah.
Like seriously, I'm glad you guys don't work with kids if you don't like them.
Absolutely.
Crappy teachers that work with kids just because summer's off. Boom.
Wow.
Love kids if you work with children. It's fine.
No child haters.
Yeah, no, it's just come on, guys. But bring your friends and family and kids to the to the
Absolutely.
show, please.
Absolutely. Just don't touch anything. No.
Yeah, just make sure.
Put them on a kid leash and
The backpacks with
backpack with a leash. Just
Yeah,
kidding.
really bad.
Absolutely.
I'm really thankful that we're all here. Plus Maxine, shout out.
Mhm.
We miss you. We wish you were here. I'm glad to be working with 4 amazing women.
Yes. The first group of seniors that's all women,
Oh,
which is pretty cool.
And I really feel like our work complements one another.
Absolutely.
Like our ideas, our thoughts, our statements.
Yeah.
We really have with one another.
And I think the theme of like femininity runs through all of our work,
Yeah.
because I think caring about the environment, caring is like inherently, I think, a feminine quality, people say. And like gathering and community, I think these are all things, if you go way back into history, you see like women gathering, talking,
Yes.
and yeah, I think that's a good theme.
And really working with one another.
Yeah.
Like we really did not want to be like dictators about certain projects.
Yeah.
Like even though there were like these projects called individually assigned requirements that each of us had to do for the class, like we still are like, hey guys, is this okay? before I submit it?"
Absolutely.
Like just making sure, or like taking account, even just like Cicely's allergies.
Aw, thank you.
Making sure that
So sweet.
Making sure that we order food that's safe
Yes.
for everybody. Like we
Yes.
care about one another. We're not just like peers.
Absolutely.
yeah,
Very
really
welcoming.
touchy, yeah.
Very welcoming group of people.
Yeah. Anything else you guys want to like? There's an open opportunity for anyone to share any thoughts on the exhibit. And the
I feel like me and Savannah could talk forever.
Right? We can just
Go
let's
ahead,
make a
yeah.
podcast.
I'd always let you.
Let's make a podcast.
We don't shut up, actually.
I'll say one thing.
I'm so sorry. I'm so
Art
sorry.
Student League. I'm the president of our Art Student League. Savannah Saltzgaver, hello. And Cicely Flynn is my treasurer. And we're going to have an art sale at the end of this month in the Student Union.
Absolutely. April 29th and April 30th from 12 to 4 p.m. We'll see you there.
Period. So if you want to sell your art or you want, contact us, we're going to have flyers and stuff all over Instagram and UIS connections. So contact us. We're going to have, a sign-up sheet.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be nicely organized. You can sell your stuff, and then what was the percentage thing? Do you remember? It was like 40%.
Yeah, 40% goes to the Art Student League and 60% goes back to the artists. So
There
you're
we
really
go.
supporting the Art Student League and the students, which is
There we go.
great.
So end of this month, April 29th, 30th, we're gonna have an art sale. If
Mhm.
you have work that you're just trying to sell, or even just honestly, if you want to show people,
Mm-hmm.
like the student union is full of people, and people don't always want to buy things, but they're looking at art, and they don't
Yeah.
always get down to the VPA.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you just want to display your work, we're gonna be down there. So hit us up.
I feel like we need to make a map to the VPA,
We do,
like a video tutorial how to get down there, because no one ever knows.
here's the union, and you want this way.
13 steps this way, 14 steps to the
Whole
right.
campus near the pit.
Yes, near the
That's where
pit.
But our show is not there. It is at the health science building.
Yes,
It's a nice
the official gallery.
visual
The
arts
gallery.
gallery. Yes. So be there or be square.
Absolutely. The turnout better be good, because we worked so hard on this.
We didn't- I mean,
We've
had-
investing months.
Yes.
Months.
When did we start working on it?
I mean, you guys have work from before this semester. We really were told to think about it at the beginning of last semester is when we had our exit assessment, and we had to know what we were going to submit for the show.
Like a preview.
So it's like a year in the
Yeah,
making.
it's like a senior review. That's what it's called, right? Senior review.
Hmm.
Yeah, like the one that was like before winter break.
Yeah. So we had an exit assessment where we had to make work and present it to all of the visual arts professors, and they either accepted or denied it
Yeah.
for entry into the senior show. So
Really?
yeah, that was intense. It was all new experience. I've never had someone like judge something of mine like that
Yeah.
before.
And we've been making work for X amount of time, all of us. So
Yeah.
like, we really had to like, okay, this is a culmination. Like we really had to be like, what am I doing?
What the heck am I gonna make?
What am I-
Because
what have I been making?
yeah,
What
It's
do I
hard.
make?
I think it's hard when people aren't called to a specific medium, or maybe they're called to all of them, and you're like, how do I narrow this down? I mean, did you guys have a hard time with that?
I think I struggled a lot with it.
Really?
So, yeah, I went from rocks to boxing.
I loved the rocks.
To wood. It's just
You're so
everything.
Yeah.
That's why. You can't stop making stuff.
I think there's a common theme throughout yours, though. Like there, if I can look at like a rock that you've painted or the box of light, and I like know they're both yours.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you have a style.
Thanks.
Yeah.
We're so close. Like are we all graduating? Who's graduating?
I am, but yeah.
Me and Sophia
Yeah.
And Maxine,
and Maxine.
I'll be back in the fall,
Yes, I will be too.
Yeah. finishing up.
I should be graduating.
We'll see.
But marketing class is kind of rough.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, we're almost done, and it was like it has been really hard. Like the senior show is really like you think it's like you're just gonna be making work.
Mhm.
No, you're doing everything else too. Like everything else.
Yeah.
You're managing making a show.
I mean, people underestimate how much work actually goes into making artwork.
Absolutely.
It's true. Like you put your whole body and
Just
soul in
slap
that.
it together.
No, it's not. You can't sleep. You toss and turn thinking about.
Oh my god, yes. I
I have nightmares that my stuff blows up in the kiln. Like, come on, just let me sleep.
Or like, yeah.
What medium do you like, Christian?
Me? Well, right now I'm taking photography. I'm really liking that. I know I took painting 1 last semester with Michael,
Mm.
and that one was a little tough just because I thought it was going to be more like teaching you the steps of how to paint,
Oh.
and it was more like throwing you straight into
It's like trial by fire. I feel like do all the professors they're like they'll figure it out.
I also think they don't want to push like a certain style onto anybody.
Yeah.
Like they want to create individual artists instead of just being like, this is the way to paint.
Yeah.
I think they've talked about this too at the reviews too, at the
Yeah.
senior critiques. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they push us to be our own individuals.
Mhm.
And like honestly, even though it's hard at the beginning, it's just like once you're like how like when you teach a kid to like swim, you like kind of just throw them in there. And you're
Exactly.
swimming, it's just like, oh,
That's a great example.
yeah.
I'm awful at swimming.
I don't know. About
Let's talk about swimming.
I don't know about swimming.
I'll stay in the blue pool.
Oh my gosh.
No way.
Just put your toes in.
Let's swim laps, Sophia.
And I actually agree with what Sophia said a little bit earlier about people don't realize how hard art is. People sometimes will be like, oh, like they'll go to the paint nights and be like, I'm a professional artist, but it's like so much time, so much work, so much dedication. But thank you guys deserve a round of applause for
Oh my
making
gosh.
it living.
All of us deserve one. We've been working really hard, seriously.
Yeah.
Months. Years.
Decades.
My hands are like
Centuries.
I know when I was throwing, I'm done throwing, but when I was throwing on the wheel a couple weeks ago, like basically gave my hand like a friction burn because I was doing it so much. We put ourselves in pain for the show. Blood, sweat, and tears, literally. Early arthritis, back problems.
Yeah, like hunch back. Like
We're all gonna like walk in with canes to the senior show.
no, we're gonna
Oh my
we're
gosh.
gonna be dressed to impress.
Dressed to impress. Oh, me too. That's a whole other podcast.
What outfit are we gonna wear today?
Are we coordinating, ladies?
Yes.
Oh, I just gave Savannah an idea. Never mind.
We should wear something like we should wear something cute.
Agreed.
All together,
Agreed.
matching matching outfits.
Oh my goodness.
Really interacting with one another.
Oh, stop. Too many.
The audience is gonna be wondering where the artists are. Oh, they're on key.
Yeah, we're in camo.
Oh yeah.
They wouldn't be able to find us. Sorry, bad joke.
Interacting with the world.
Oh my gosh.
Take a shot.
Sorry. See what happens? You let us lose.
Do you guys have any advice for future artists or future students that are going to do their senior show coming years?
Things will go wrong.
Oh,
But
yeah.
Just push through it. You definitely have to problem solve like me, but
Mm-hmm.
it usually works out in the end.
Yeah, or like editing stuff. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
we might have this like grandiose idea at the beginning. This is when the time starts ticking.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, I have to cut that out. It's not gonna happen.
I think the semester that the students do the senior show, like make your schedule light. Give yourself some classes you don't think you're gonna like add to the overwhelming feeling.
Yeah.
Like don't load up your schedule 18 credit hours the semester of your senior show because you will hate yourself.
Yeah, I think my advice would be be patient with yourself. Right? Creativity is your friend, not an enemy. So yes.
It's easy to get into like a negative mindset. You have so many critiques with the professors and people are like encouraging you to put your work in like down many different paths. Like, oh, you could do this, you could do this, you could do this, but you have to stay true to like what you believe and your style because your professors, while they know more than us, like it might not be true to who you are and your style, and I feel like you have to edit out their suggestions sometimes.
I agree. It's good to be like, I'm doing this because this is what I want to do.
Yeah. I think anyone could make anything. And as long as you have a good reason for what you're making and you have like good skills, it'll fly. Like you're good. That's art, like if you can justify it and back it up, you're golden.
That's what a lot of it is, like explaining yourself,
Yeah.
making an artist statement to be like, why did you make this?
Yeah.
What is this, the conceptual
Yeah.
idea behind everything?
Yeah.
Because you can't just be like, oh, I like it.
I saw it on Pinterest.
also take the teacher's critique. that they
Yeah,
have.
absolutely.
Like they act like, because they won't tell you how to paint something. Or
No,
how
but
to make something, but they will be like,
That's terrible.
perspective is
Yeah.
off, or does it look right?
Yeah.
Or something like that. So you have to like really teach
Mhm.
yourself,
Yeah.
which I think is good. Like we all need to know how to edit, self-edit, without just being like, that needs to be fixed, this needs to be fixed, this needs to be fixed. Like,
Yeah.
then we wouldn't be creative. We
Yeah.
have to problem solve ourselves, which is what I like about the program. Like I'm not like leaving being like, oh well, I'm now the world's best still life painter. I can just copy some like a old time Renaissance
Mhm.
painting. Like that's boring.
Yeah.
You've seen it already. But we're all making stuff that's never been seen before.
Never been done before.
Never.
Oh my gosh.
We're almost. I'm so excited for it to be over.
Me too.
Yes. Yeah. See, a quote that I keep thinking about nowadays is that I don't know how it goes, but it goes like it's not about where you end up, but the journey to it. It's just like seeing the senior show as a stepping stone to our career.
Mhm.
And so
Absolutely.
It was very beautiful, actually. Thank you.
oh my god.
She's full of beautiful quotes.
Ashley's just a beautiful person.
Oh my god.
You said she meditates every morning.
Oh my god, yes.
You're
Under the
amazing.
sun.
Wow.
Under the sun.
Do you actually?
Yeah.
Wow, you're so put together.
Uh,
I roll out of bed. I'm like, time to go.
Yeah, you're awesome.
Aw.
Do you guys have any what's the word? Any tips or tricks for people doing the same kind of styles as you guys are, like ceramics or painting? Any help for hints? I mean, not hints. Like, I don't know what the word I'm like.
Hacks. Well, with ceramics, so making functional ware, I'm making a set of plates, set of bowls. Everything has to look the same because if not, it's not a set. I take like meticulous measurements. I sound like a control freak, but it's like you measure everything, like measure the weight of everything, measure how big you make it, and like make everything the same. I feel like that's a big one for functional wear specifically. And also for everything I've made, there's like 3 or 4 extra. Like I think making several things if you're planning on making functional work is great because something could explode or just not look the way you think it looks after it's fired. So being meticulous and making extra I think is good. And don't rush yourself because if you try to make a plate like a week before it's due, like ceramics takes months. Seriously months. Like once you make it, you can't like edit it really quickly, you know?
Yeah, and sculptural ceramics is definitely pretty bad. I mean, you gotta make sure you like slip and score stuff correctly so it actually sticks together and doesn't just fall apart for some reason.
Or explode.
Yeah. Drying is very important, like Cicely said. Like sometimes some of the stuff will take a month to dry, depending on like how big it is and like how thick the clay is. You usually have to hollow something out or like put an air hole in. There's like so many little like details you have to make sure it's right, or else you risk it just exploding. So it's a very like
Death in the
hit or
kiln.
miss. Yeah.
We've had that.
Yeah.
There've been some explosions.
Yeah.
A tip, I would say, don't let your paint dry. Like I use acrylic paint and it dries really fast. So put a lid on that, and it's like a waste. Like it's like liquid plastic, and it's so expensive. Please don't waste it. You'll save trips to the store. So like put like aluminum foil over it, or saran wrap, or literally a plastic bag over your palette. It's sad to see it glop of paint
No.
just dry. Because you went out like to the bathroom and it was just like
Can you re-wet?
it's
No.
It's like tack. It's like
What can you re-wet? Watercolor,
Oil,
oil.
water.
Yes.
Well, oil stays wet for like hours.
Oil is very expensive too, isn't it?
yeah.
Don't
Yeah,
get into
messy.
oil.
Yeah, you want everything to be staying forever.
Oh yeah, acrylic too, and it's
Yeah.
like thick. It's like hard. Like it'll get under your shirt and like scratch you.
Mm.
And I have so many shirts at home that's just
Spooky.
like covered in paint. It's like it's my paint shirt
Yeah, it's
now.
like yes.
Okay, but Ross,
The thing that you
no
know,
mistakes. Just happy accidents.
I just use my shirt like as the paint.
That doesn't surprise me.
Right on it.
With your apron yesterday.
Yes, I buy an apron too.
Oh my gosh. I think that's the biggest tip anyone should take away from this. Buy an apron. Put your name on it.
Yes.
Embroider it.
Yes.
Wow.
Like custom apron. I have a pink one. Get a cool one and wear it every day because your clothes are gonna get ruined. You
Period.
never dress nice
Never.
unless it's for critique. I like matching my outfits to my
To your
style.
work?
Yeah.
She does do that a lot.
Yeah, yes, it's nice. A tip that I would give. I tend to work a lot with found objects, and so find any object that's interesting, keep it. It might help you later. That's literally what I'm experiencing with the senior show now. Literally used a bottle cap for some, like, a part of my project. Little hint right there, a Dora had too. So,
Wow.
it's gonna be interesting. So, yeah.
Trinkets.
Ashley's like, become a hoarder. Just collect everything. So true.
Yes.
Like run a U-Haul.
Oh,
Keep a
yes,
storage unit.
yes,
Just fill it up.
yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh, that was funny. Oh my god.
Good advice.
I'm literally red now.
Are you still taking art classes?
Right now I'm photography, and then next semester I'm taking digital.
Oh yeah, intro to digital media.
Digital media.
It's a big learning curve if you've never done anything like that before, but I don't know. I haven't. Does anyone here hate digital media? I've never met someone that like hates it. It's so fun.
Like I've never taken digital media either.
Oh wow.
Only know anything about it.
It's like once you open that can of worms, it's like, oh.
It's a lot.
Because they're talking about messy, right? Like digital work, it can get messy because you can bring it like into the real world, but it's also way less messy than painting or ceramics. When I come in to do ceramics, I have to like dress in like a t-shirt and leggings like this, but when you're doing digital media, like it's so funny. You don't get messy. Like you don't get messy. In some ways it's easier, I think. Yeah.
Well, if you
I
have
hope
an
you like it.
iPad, you can do it anywhere.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, you can take it anywhere. That's another advantage. If you have
True.
internet access. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the train, on the plane, on the car. everywhere.
Exactly.
Yes.
You catch me- you're
Dr.
gonna catch me
Seuss.
painting on the plane or
Right.
car
Right.
and stuff, so.
I've seen like a trend going around where people will bring clay like to a restaurant and like pinch pot a mug. I'm like, put it away, babe. Put away the clay. We're at dinner and there's dust everywhere. What are you doing? I'm trying to eat breadsticks and there's clay dust.
Using the wine and like slip.
Yeah, the wine is slip.
That's
Like, what are you doing? Oh, that's another thing. Ventilation.
they don't even
Oh, yes.
Don't breathe in clay dust.
see you eat in the studio.
They will get upset with you.
Yes.
They're worried about our safety.
Yes.
What are you eating?
Turn on all the ventilation in all the rooms
Oh, yes.
so you don't get like a fume headache or silicosis
Yes.
from the clay dust.
Yes. I almost pass out.
Definitely been there. Remember to
Yeah.
eat.
Oh, yeah.
That's another one. If you're in the studio for hours at a time, sometimes you forget to eat and you almost pass out.
Sleep.
Happened to me.
Go sleeping.
You're a terrible person to give that advice.
I'm
Savannah's
saying
sleep schedule.
sleep.
She goes to sleep at 8:30 a.m., wakes up at 11 a.m. starts her day.
Morning.
Good morning.
The silence is.
The silence is deafening.
It'll happen to you.
It will.
You-
If you're passionate enough,
Yeah, if you're dedicated.
if you're dedicated, no sleep.
Because my stuff is so big, I can't even take it home anymore.
So
Oh,
I can't,
see, that's a unique challenge, yeah.
I'm like, and essentially all your stuff, like, your stuff is here.
Yeah.
Like, it's like the wheel is here. You
I
don't
could
have
try to
wheel
steal it, but I'd probably get in trouble. Put a wheel in my bathroom.
Borrow this wheel. But actually, you got a wheel found object.
hmm
Oh, yes. I have them in a Ziploc bag. I have them in boxes all over my room.
Amazing.
And it's like,
A little bit of
yeah,
this,
a little bit of that. I got a tiny plate.
Tiny plate. I got tiny plate.
Yeah, honestly, sometimes I'm just like, I rage at myself for collecting them, but after I saw Tinkerbell when I was little, I've been inspired.
I just
That's
rewatched
adorable.
That, like, last week.
It's really good.
She does collect. Wasn't she in a lantern? Wasn't she locked in a lantern?
I think that's
By
Peter
Hook?
Pan.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
it's all
wait,
connecting.
No, she was stuck in a jar,
Sh-
Oh, yeah.
and then she
Who was
had
she?
to. She had to like glow, like she was glowing or
Aw.
something, right? She's like making herself glow, right?
Love that.
Because she had like fairy dust.
Pixie
Don't
dust.
get me started.
Love that.
I really like this. I really
I feel like sometimes I'll make something and then I remember something from my childhood. And I'm like, that's why I made this.
Oh my god, literally.
Does that happen to you? Like, you're like, I really want to make this. And someone's like, why? And you don't know. And then
That's my artist statement.
you're like, you remember.
Like,
Yeah, and then you remember something from your childhood or something that, like, meant a lot to you or impacted you. Like, my show's called Sunday at 3 because I always went to my grandma's house on Sundays at 3, like, growing up. So I feel like that setting, like, inspired me to make this work. But I didn't think about that until I had to write my artist statement. You gotta dig deep. Like, it's all there subconsciously. Yeah. It's so weird.
Like, literally, the other day I was literally creating my lantern, literally had a flashback. I had to stand for a second. I was like, oh my god. See,
my
I've been telling
gosh.
stories since I was, like, very young, right? So there was a boy in my kindergarten class. He would, like, bite people and stuff. Like,
Oh.
no one would talk to him and stuff.
Oh.
So suddenly I went over and I just started talking to him, started telling him stories, and like up to this day he remembers that. He remembers that and he completely changed. Like his life changed.
He didn't bite kids anymore.
Yeah, he don't bite kids
Oh,
anymore.
All it took was you.
Like,
Your life changer.
I was just, wow.
Yeah, that's like
Speechless.
That's crazy.
This moment. Ashley, you're a good person.
I'm gonna cry now.
We all just love Ashley so
My heart is pulsating.
This is an Ashley fan club.
She's such a sweet person. If you don't know Ashley,
Then I feel bad for you if you don't know Ashley.
I think everyone knows Ashley.
Just say-
period. UIS icon.
From dusk.
Oh.
You're so right. You're the perfect person to do that, by the way.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So before we head on to our final topic, which is a fun little game, do you guys have any final comments about the exposition?
It's gonna be dope.
Okay.
Be there, be square.
Right?
I hope everyone comes out. It'll be really fun. Like, even if you don't usually look at art, like, why not? Stop by.
Right. It's gonna be very, very, very interactive.
It's gonna be so interactive.
Yeah.
Just don't touch anything.
Don't touch anything. Well, Ashley.
Well, besides Ashley.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're curious enough and want
You
to.
better touch it.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
And please walk under my entrance.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Don't. Okay. Like, shout out to my art history person that I've been studying, Nikki de Saint Phal. She's an artist, a French American artist.
Oui, oui.
And she made a huge woman sculpture
No?
that like took up the entirety of the museum, like a gallery space.
Wow.
And the only way you could enter the space, the gallery, like her body was, the woman's body was the show. You
Oh.
had to enter inside of the woman's body
Wow.
through her private parts.
Wow.
And like she was like giving birth to you.
Wow.
And then when you left, you had to go out the same way you came in, like you're giving birth.
Wow.
Oh.
That's
Think
so
of
cool.
that when you come to my show.
That's gonna be at the forefront of my mind now. Thank you.
Han, the Cathedral by Nikki de Saint Phal. Look it up. And then she destroyed it. It was like,
Iconic.
It was a huge sculpture, and like inside of it was like a planetarium,
Oh wow.
like a milk bar, and like a movie theater.
Not the milk bar.
Yeah, it was huge. It was like a huge sculpture, and then she just destroyed it.
A lot of artists do that.
So yeah,
Wow.
come see our stuff and be like, what is this?
Spend some time with it. Don't just look around one time. Look up really close to everything. Because every detail was planned by us, you know? Nothing was by mistake.
Okay, well, then we'll start our final segment, which is a little game of Would You Rather.
Oh my goodness.
We'll start with Cicely.
Yes.
Cicely, would you rather have Leonardo da Vinci's big beard
Mm.
or destroy your favorite piece of artwork?
Ooh, this is easy for me. Destroy my favorite piece of artwork. Because I break my stuff all the time. I don't know about you guys.
Want a beard?
You know, I was thinking I could braid it. That'd be kind of cute. Like, I could, dye it. I can make it work.
You know,
But-
when you're eating, it'll catch like
Yeah, exactly. Like, save for later situation.
just saying
but-
for fancy.
Low key, though, it is so, I don't know, therapeutic to break something that you've made. Like, to go through the process of ceramics, of throwing something, like, okay, you buy the clay or you make it, then you wedge it, and then you throw it, and then you let it dry. And then you fire it, and then you glaze it, and then you fire it again, and you're like, oh, I hate it. And I think it's why, like, what are those places called that you go, like, a rage room? It's like my own little rage room. To go outside and throw something in the dumpster. It's so satisfying.
Or at someone.
Well, yeah, I haven't done that yet. There's always the option. But yeah, that's my choice, for sure.
Okay. Sophia, would you rather have Frida Kahlo's unibrow or destroy your favorite piece of work?
I mean, I know growing up I did have kind of a unibrow, but I guess I'd probably same as Cicely, like destroy my favorite piece of work, because I mean, a lot of the ceramics I have made have been like delicate in places, and without fail I put them in a box at home and then they just end up broken the next day. Whether by accident or on purpose, we'll never know.
You're very fragile, Sophia.
I know.
Make
I
very
know.
fragile
Well,
work.
And then the cats will like just knock something off, and they don't like give you a second glance, and it's like that was in my way.
The cats don't appreciate the art like we do.
No, especially when they're blind.
You sick cat.
Yeah.
Shout out to Savannah's cat.
Say you know.
Stevie.
He's made a bed.
The one-eyed kitty.
Savannah, would you rather cut your ear off like Vincent Van Gogh, or just show your favorite artwork?
At this point, I'm crazy enough. I'd cut my ear off. I wouldn't destroy my favorite piece of work.
Oh wow.
I wouldn't do it.
Which ear?
Ooh.
My right one. I already have ear problems anyways. I got tubes in them. I get ear infection all the time. Get rid of it. Chop it off.
What do you
Don't-
know a blessing with
Yeah,
the
yeah. Don't make me destroy it.
Ashley, would you want to have Bob Ross's afro, or
Ooh.
just show your favorite work?
Oh my god, that's crazy. Oh, let me think about it. I'd have his hair, his afro. Yeah.
It's iconic.
You could rock
For
it.
real, literally. Just pull up. Afro.
It's
Mhm.
iconic. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, oh, there's Ashley with the afro.
Yeah. I wouldn't.
Ross.
Yeah.
Afro.
Ashley Ross. Yeah. I wouldn't destroy my favorite piece of artwork. Too much sentiment.
Right?
Yes.
It's like a
just-
child.
Yes.
Mm.
Too much intuitive.
I wish I was attached to my work the way you guys were.
It's very personal.
I mean, there's certain pieces that get me mad when I look at them.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? It's growth. I'm not gonna destroy it just.
That's a good.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you can put them back together.
Right? Or maybe you just use them for something else.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I even extra stuff. Like I'm like, well, I spent time making it. Why? Like some stems I have that are just extra. I'm like, got some bare stems that I have nothing on them. What if I
Mhm.
make a flower that's this exact same stem color right here?
Back to the hoarding, right?
Yes, just hoarding things. Also, that's another thing. If the student studios are still a thing,
Oh yeah.
like the UIS institutional scholarships. If you're an art major or like an art major, and there's like a scholarship, and there's student studios in the VPA.
Mhm.
You can have your own studio if you apply for it and get the scholarship.
Yeah.
So like seriously, like no one knows about that. So apply for it if you see it.
Oh, okay.
Wink, wink.
Yes.
Okay, so any final comments from you guys?
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
This has been so much fun.
It feels like we're professional.
Yeah. We love to chat. So any chance we get to chat.
It's like we talk like this all the time, but then with a mic instead.
With an audience.
Thousand.
Yes. Millions, if you will.
Yeah. So thank you. Thank you for having
Yes,
us.
of course, thank you guys for coming on. Have a very nice time learning more about your guys' special art.
Come see the show.
Yes.
Art.
Yes, you're a fellow visual art friend too.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, he's an artist himself. He's a photographer, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then he'll be a digital media artist as well. Don't underestimate him.
Yeah. Yes.
Love that.
Yeah.
Does that mean you're gonna have a senior show one day?
Maybe.
I think it's for. Is it for visual art majors or minors?
Oh, it is.
Majors, which is kind of sad.
Oh,
Like I wish everyone could participate. Yeah.
You know, you already have all these classes.
Come to the dark side.
To the old campus.
Well, thank you everyone for listening to this very special podcast. Thank you all for coming again.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
You guys must go see this exhibition. Mandatory.
Yes.
Mandatory.
Yes. What is it called, guys?
Interaction.
Interaction.
Interaction. Yes. It'll be reception April 25th, 5:30 to 8. Visual Arts Gallery in Health Science Building.
Yes, it opens April 22nd and runs through May 9th. If you don't got a chance to go to that, but yes.
Be there.
Be there or else.
Oh yes.
We'll find
We're so threatening.
Because it's good. It's good work.
Well, thank you all for listening, and I'll catch you on the next episode. Bye bye.